The first 10 years of the Tri-Nations has seen the competition grow and flourish to such an extent that it is now among the most prestigious tournaments in world rugby. It has made good players into greats and provided a showcase for the very best talents in the Southern Hemisphere. Every year has thrown up classic matches, thrilling tries, and created new heroes. As the competition enters its second decade, here is a look back at the first. The first Tri-Nations was back in 1996, a year after the hugely successful Rugby World Cup in South Africa. Rugby's amateur superstars were now embracing professionalism. The inaugural fixture was between the All Blacks and the Wallabies on a wet and windy afternoon in Wellington.
Goes Robin Brook, that's the goal line there, it's got to be close, it's a try, 1 minute gone. Mertens, again the flat kick through, Lomu and Tune, well claimed by Lomu. Marshall, no one ahead, he has to have a go. That's amazing. Walter Little, Tronfeld has been in brilliant touch today, relishing the game. And they've hooked it back between his legs, and Mertens got it, and there's a line of out to the right, and Zinzanbrook is running hard, and he's given it to Wilson.
I think this man with the ball at his feet now has come on a tremendous amount in the 4 tests he's played this year, Justin Marshall.
Brown in combination with Marshall and Robin Brook, 22-metre line. Marshall again, Mertens. There's the kick wide for Cullen and Tune and Lomu gets one.
A winning start in the mud for Jonah Lomu and the All Blacks. A week later in Sydney, South Africa joined the party. Andre Markgraf's team travelled to Australia on the back of a 15-match winning run stretching back to 1994.
Now to Burke. He shaped for a drop goal. Almost got through. Foley. Australians punching away in close here. That's Manu. Here's Gregan. Now it's Manu. Lovely pass, Howard. Manu. Roth. Joe Roth. He got it.
Well, it's smacked up on the sideline here. We've got a little brawl going on, but that doesn't detract from a really terrific Australian try. Morgan led the charge. Manu linked. The crowd are so happy. Watch it here, Manu gets involved, a beautiful ball back inside to Howard. Howard again to Manu, Manu nearly drops it, gets it back to Joe Roth. Very high, gets across the sideline there and Oost, but Hazen unable to stop him.
South Africa go deep, now to Horan. Tim Horan, who scored 2 tries against the Springboks in '93. He's following, he wants the bounce, Schubert! A danger man. Oh, shocking pass. It's a try to Horan. Tim Horan couldn't believe his luck. Stransky in at scrum half. Honeyball. Can they do it? The line's open. Another great tackle. That's small. Schubert, that must be now. Who's there? Hendricks. Hendricks gets the try. Has it come too late?
It had, and South Africa's winning run had come to a halt. The Springboks then headed across the Tasman Sea to Christchurch. For the first time in the Tri-Nations, they faced up to the All Blacks.
Fast hands, South Africa change of direction from Stransky to Fenter to Andrews, an overlap. gives it to Joubert, and there's the try. Andre Joubert.
All New Zealand's points on the day came from the boot of 23-year-old Andrew Mertens. His 5 penalties were enough to win the game. A week later, the All Blacks were in Brisbane for the return fixture against the Wallabies.
Michael Jones with him, number 6. Again, lost by New Zealand. That's the 3rd time today. It could be a try for Australia here. Tune. Ben Tune. Guigan. A beautiful try for George Guigan. He's got away from Richard Toms. Matt Burke breaking out, chased by Lomu. He's got it in the clear, and this is a brilliant run away for Burke. Super try. An absolutely brilliant try. Marshall, Mertens, wide to Lomu at centre. Jonah Lomu. And 3 Australians took to take him down. It's desperate stuff for New Zealand. They've got a big line up to the right. Marshall, he's got to take it round by the posts. Justin Marshall. We've got a thriller on our hands. He's running it on the loop. Mertens through. Oh! Cullen falls over. Bunce drives on. The try is scored. The All Blacks have burgled this game off the Australians. Frank Bunce tried. John Hart delighted. The first try series is going to go to New Zealand.
I think we're just lucky, really. The boys didn't give up, and it was an 80-minute game, and everybody just Mert's play was, what could we ask for from the first 5? He slotted the goals around the ball and did everything perfectly.
Australia then went to Bloemfontein knowing only a win could keep alive any hopes they had of winning the Tri-Nations.
We're a quarter of the way through the match, and we're still level at South Africa 3, Australia 3. It could have been 6-3, but for a coat of paint to South Africa with Stransky. This is Pienaar cleaning up well. And the captain in the driving seat there. Now it's with Roux. It fell awkwardly for him, but away goes Justin Svod. What tremendous pace! Oh, he's going to go all the way! Fantastic tackle from Campese, but Stransky is over. And South Africa have a memorable score. And Stransky got the try, but it was made almost entirely by the winger Justin Svod.
John Eales is away here.
Good break from Eales. Gregan went with him. That looked a little high, but the referee keeps it going. Michael Bryle. Oh, he's got support outside if he can get it away. The quick hands come, and it's Danny Herbert. Oh, it seemed to go forward that time. The referee has spotted it. It's coming back on the Australian side, but no, he lets it go. And it's Campese. Roth. Tune. They're back in the match. They've given themselves a chance, and Ben Tune goes in for his 2nd international try, still only 19 years of age, and well done Australia. They thoroughly deserved that.
I'd like to play these guys again actually after tonight. I thought we let them off the hook. We had a few opportunities towards the end there, and we kept on making them go backwards and backwards, and unfortunately the ball to breakdown sort of stopped our progress, but that's how games go. We've had 2 games now in 2 weeks where they've been very close, and we've really blown it.
And so, New Zealand went to Cape Town for the final fixture of the competition, having already secured the title. But the memories of their World Cup final defeat a year earlier were still fresh, and so the All Blacks were determined to deliver some payback. And they did, coming away 29-18 winners. Veteran skipper Sean Fitzpatrick, therefore, became the first man to lift the Tri-Nations trophy.
You're going to need some help, Sean.
So, confirmation of New Zealand's Grand Slam. South Africa finished in second place by virtue of their superior points difference in the matches. The first fixture of the 1997 Tri-Nation saw New Zealand back in South Africa to take on the Springboks, this time at Ellis Park.
Drotsky, De Beer, and Jannie De Beer finding a little bit of space. This is Peter Rousseau, and Donny van Skartveld. Mark Andrews couldn't hold on. A lovely little dummy. There's Gary Teichmann. He's 5 meters from the line. Mark Drotsky's in for the try. Marshall, Spencer, Brown, well held up by Teichmann. Spencer, Crook, last man. Marshall, Stensness, little switch to Frank Bunce. This man's elusive. Frank Bunce gets in for New Zealand's first score. Brilliant run by the veteran centre. They go in very hard from the Westhuizen from Teichmann, and look at that, Russell Bennett has got the touchdown. Brilliantly worked move, and Bennett did so well to hold on to it. Van der Westhuizen, and it's chased down by Jeff Wilson, and this could be a try for the All Blacks. Jeff Wilson gets away, and that's just what Willie Schmidt had said. Little mistakes like that, but don't give Jeff Wilson half a chance, because he'll turn it into points. Spencer, Stensness, Bunce, Wilson's doubled right around. Wilson's now really proving to be a tremendous player, and it's going to be Carlos Spencer who gets the next touchdown. Jones, Marshall, Spencer got it away to Bunce, who found a huge hole in the defence, and Bunce is going all the way possibly. Brilliant try by Frank Bunce. Goodness gracious me, that's his second try of the night, and that's one of the best individual tries you'll see in an international. And still the All Blacks have it. Stensness. And look at that, such a difficult one, and it's going to be a penalty to the All Blacks if they don't score a try.
With the scores level, this Carlos Spencer penalty proved the difference between the two teams. 35-32 it finished. With that victory under their belts, the All Blacks then moved on to Melbourne and the Wallabies at the MCG.
Marshall once more. Spencer looks inside. Eremia's taken by Horan. Solid tackling early on. Change of direction by Marshall. Now Tane Randall. Beautiful pass to Frank Bunce, and Bunce gets the first try of the game. Zinzan away from Marshall. Spencer. Easy try for Christian Cullen. It had to happen, and Christian Cullen gets it.
Another disappointing night for Wallaby fans against their great rivals, and the pressure was starting to build on coach Greg Smith. With the Springboks up next, Smith needed a big performance from his team. His decision to bring David Knox back from exile proved to be a masterstroke.
Gregan now, Knox, the chances on it must be Lockham. Beautiful try to the Wallabies. Referee wants it cleared. David Knox. Gregan, Lockham. Gregan again. 10 metres out. Tune. Another one. How did Georgie Gregan get that pass away? South Africa wants 7 points here. Some self-destructing by the Australians. Osterrott is over the goal line, and he got it. He got the try. Here's Gregan again. Back to Harry. Knox is there. The hoot is gone. Tune. Tune. He's second. What a spectacular entry there by the 20-year-old Tune.
32-20 the final score, and smiles back on Australian faces. A week later, the Springboks were in Auckland attempting to become the first team to beat the All Blacks in the Tri-Nations.
James Dalton back in the Springboks. He'll be looking for Andrews. Teichmann down the back takes it beautifully inside the 22, and this is an excellent start by the Springboks, just as they did at Ellis Park. Here's Osterwald, dragged down by Randall, carried on by the Springboks. They've scored early. Just out from the 22, under Westhuizen. De Beer moves it this time. Oh, bang, entertain Randall. Montgomery with the kick. Sliced off the side of his boot. Carlin can't get it. Montgomery's got it. Percy Montgomery has got the bounce, and he's got the try as well.
But New Zealand soon wrestled back the initiative. Springbok flanker Andre Venter became the first player ever to be sent off in this fixture, and the All Blacks took full advantage.
Now Marshall, big gap up the middle. Spencer, Cullen, Christian Cullen, it's all over. Christian Cullen.
The extra man told in the end, with New Zealand running in 7 tries. This meant that the All Blacks knew that a victory over Australia in Dunedin the following week would reclaim the Tri-Nations.
Handed away, Tane Randall. And that would be a popular try at Carisbrook. The chasers are ready. Wilson waiting for it as Larkham just on his own side of halfway. Zinzan Brook with a distinctive call. His ball, and he gets it clearly. Then finds Cullen with a beautiful pass. Now they're lining up to score this one. Cullen might do it himself. Yes, he will. Superb.
With New Zealand seemingly running away with the match, the Wallabies made a spirited fight back, led by fullback Stephen Larkham. But it proved too little too late. More silverware for Sean Fitzpatrick.
Really pleased to win the Tri-Nations, win the Blues League Cup 3-0. It hasn't been done before. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the guys. Just a bit disappointed that we couldn't keep the crowd as noisy as it was in the first half.
In the battle to avoid the wooden spoon, Australia took on the Springboks in Pretoria. The game started with South Africa edging ahead through this try from Rassie Erasmus. But Australia kept in touch and scored one of the tries of the year through Joe Roth, the move involving the entire back line. But that was as good as it got for Australia. The second half saw the Springboks score 41 unanswered points.
Joubert with a quick throw in. Montgomery, the referee's let it go. Montgomery's got lots of pace. Can he go his own? Montgomery, this is going to be a magnificent try for the centre.
South Africa's 8 tries here meant they finished the campaign with 18 in all, still a record. As the All Blacks prepared for their 1998 season, they had to do so without 2 undoubted legends of the shirt. Sean Fitzpatrick and Zinzan Brook had both announced their Test retirements. It was all change in Australia too, with Rod McQueen replacing Greg Smith as coach. He had to hit the ground running, as first up for the Wallabies was the All Blacks in Melbourne.
Get off it! Daniel Herbert's a battering ram. Now they're making meters. Here's a chance! Matthew Burke! Straight through the middle! The Wallabies draw level metre scrum. Again, looking very solid. Kefu charges ahead. Gregan now. There's the battering ram. Joe Roth. Gregan does well. Kearns up to the 22. Marshall tries to stop it. Here's Larkham. Herbert. Straight through. Daniel Herbert. It's another one to burn. They're looking for Cullen. Here's Mertens. He wants Wilson. Gregan in front. He's just caught. And there's the try to Jones. Just to put it back out to 8 in favour of the Wallabies. Matthew Burke, 24. New Zealand, 16.
And so, in the third season of the Tri-Nations, New Zealand finally lose a match.
It's a great feeling. I mean, everything we worked towards was heading towards tonight. Big night in Melbourne. We had fantastic support from the crowd, and that helped us so much tonight.
Buoyed by this, Australia then hosted South Africa for the first international fixture to be played at Perth's Subiaco Oval. South Africa also had a new coach. Nick Mallett had replaced Carol du Plessis towards the end of 1997.
Here's Larkham. June. What a start. So the defences are just calling the tune at the moment, and there have been some fiery clashes. Van der Westhuizen slams his way through the Aussie defence from a quick tap. Willio was there. Gregan now. South Africa's turn to hold on. Joe Roth. Great pass. Larkham. Tommy Bowman. 7 metres out. Gregan. What an offload.
The boot of Percy Montgomery edged the Springboks into the lead. But Australia should have soon retaken it.
Just to put them back out to a 2-point lead. He's missed it again.
And so a first Tri-Nations victory away from home for the Springboks. With the All Blacks seemingly wobbling, the Springboks arrived in New Zealand looking for their first win there since 1981.
Van der Westhuizen, honey ball. Oh, big gap! Peter Rousseau! A simple move, and they pick up the first try of the game.
A rare home defeat for New Zealand as the Springboks complete their tour with 2 wins. Attention then turned to Christchurch and the visit to New Zealand of the Wallabies.
Now Gregan. Jason Little. Here's support from Bowman again. Big Tom Bowman. And he comes up with his first test try. Gregan once again. Craig Dowd's timing was pretty good. Goal line is there once more. Gregan digs it out. Larkham looks inside, and the try comes up from Matthew Burke.
He's an athlete, this man. Look at the Wallabies. They're doing to the All Blacks what they did in the first half. They're laying them all out behind their forward pack.
Horan's gone in close. Gregan releases up to Larkham. They've opened him up here. Little on the charge. Little's under the bar. Gregan delivers again for Joe Roth. Just 10 metres out.
Good ball for Australia if it's quick.
It is
3 on 2.
Little. Larkham. Stephen Larkham. Now Little in his 50th test. Up to Meyerhoffler. Back the other way he goes. Mertens. Cullen. Gets up and Cullen's in. Marshall takes it quickly. Handed off to Robertson by Randall. It's there, or it should be. There it is. Marshall. Lamu! The big bloke gets over.
An unthinkable third successive defeat for the All Blacks and a first win in New Zealand for the Wallabies since 1990. The wounded All Blacks therefore went to Durban hoping to avoid a clean sweep of defeats.
Can Peter Miller do something with it? Well, Snyman's got it. Montgomery, a big hit on him, but he stays on his feet. Now Stephen to Blanche. He's got support, but he was unable to find it. Can he go? He's off. He's over.
South Africa's third win in a row meant they were odds on to take the Tri-Nations title, and with Australia still to visit Johannesburg, the Tri-Nations had its first winner-takes-all final match. Incredibly, after 8 successive wins, New Zealand had lost all 4 matches of this campaign. And so the Wallabies arrived in South Africa determined not to just make up the numbers. This was a game they had every confidence that they could win.
We've actually just learned today that the equation's changed a little bit. It's probably in our favour. There's basically 1 point different in the for and against situation. So we've got to win by more than 1 point, and we can't let them get 4 tries and us not. So I suppose there's a bit of an equation there.
But there was an air of expectation around Ellis Park. The famous old ground had not hosted a game of this magnitude since the World Cup final of 1995. And the Springbok fans demanded a similar result here.
Good work at the back by Tashman, but he's quickly bottled up by the Australians. And he has the drive. This is Adrian Garvey. They've got to drive the Australians off the ball and not allow them to regroup. Rousseau. Skinstad standing off. Hands off, gold! So for the third time now, South Africa come at them. Skinstad through, what a beautiful dummy, and Bobby Skinstad with a big dive. Believe me, he has enjoyed that.
And so the 1998 Tri-Nations trophy was held aloft by Gary Teichmann.
Whenever you play Australia and New Zealand, it's always going to be a hard game and a tight game. And I think the defence between all 3 sides in this tournament is incredible. And we're just fortunate that in the second half it came right for us, and we scored some nice tries. A nice try scored at the back of the lineup with Adrian Garvey. But all the way through the game, it's kept tight, and it's a difficult game to play.
With 1999 being a World Cup year, the New Zealand faithful were expecting a vast improvement from their team as they welcomed South Africa to Dunedin.
Now Loft again plays halfback. Now Mertens. A little kick forward for Cullen. Here's the opening try. Christian Cullen. You see it trapped in the back. Now it's there for Marshall. Justin Marshall. He'll go all the way.
And so normal service resumed for the All Blacks, while South Africa became the first team to draw a blank in a Tri-Nations game. Next up for the Springboks were the Wallabies in Brisbane.
So this is Brayton Paulser. He can scoot. Stephen to Blanche. Nathan Gray across. Gray has it. Here's Jeremy Paul. Joe Rock. What a pass from Paul. Willie gets up ahead of steam. Gregan. Horan. Jim Horan claps it on. Joe Rock. Number 2.
32-6 the final score, the Wallabies' largest winning margin against the Boks. A week later, a rejuvenated All Black team took on Australia in Auckland.
Well, it's interesting. New Zealand putting the heat on. The Australian front row, it's early in the game, remember. The pressure told, and up she went. That's a better Australian scrum. Good, strong, safe ball.
Oh, Joe Ross made a miss. Try coming up, scored. Justin Marshall. Andrew Merton Netherlands looking at bringing up 500 points for the All Blacks. Better looking Australian scrum here. The All Blacks under pressure. Regan, yes. So Andrew Mertens now, he's done everything else tonight, is going to attempt to equal a world record. If he gets a 9th penalty, it equals the record held by Hiroshi of Japan. There he goes. He's done it.
In the end, Mertens contributed 29 points to New Zealand's winning total.
The passion was good and the urgency, especially the first half. I don't think we found ourselves down our own end much at all. So that was really good. And the guys were buzzing. It's it's just like I say, it's a shame sort of you come out with 2 tries to 1 down, and with such a good win like that, it sort of taints it a little bit. But we're delighted. It's a comprehensive victory, so we're pretty happy.
2 weeks later, New Zealand took on South Africa in Pretoria.
Dion Kaiser, big challenge for him as well. Straight away, Christian Cullen's in play. Great play by him. A missed tackle from Robbie Fleck, and that's a try to Christian Cullen. It couldn't be easier than that.
South Africa have no points, so it's 8 to New Zealand, 5 to Australia, none to South Africa so far. This one up for grabs, points, 4 for a win. Montgomery goes down, 15 metres out. Van der Westhuizen, Fleck. Gives it into Osdurant, the big prop forward, going left this time. Kafi du Toit to Erasmus, and the captain, Van der Westhuizen. So a big night for Chris Rousseau, claimed by Marshall.
Fabulous take from Maxwell. Here's John up.
Here's Lomu. And once again, it's 3 to get Lomu down.
Got to free it from here quickly. It comes too slow. Oliver takes the charge. Uramir is in there.
Now, can they shift it wide to Cullen and Umaga? Looking good. Cullen gets 2. Gotta go. Christian Cullen in for his 2nd try.
34-18 the final score, and Tane Randall lifted the Winfield Cup. But more importantly for the All Blacks, they were now in pole position to take the Tri-Nations. They knew that if Australia failed to beat the Springboks in the upcoming fixture in Cape Town, they would reclaim the trophy. Having fallen at the final hurdle in 1998, Australia were more determined than ever to get a result at Newlands. There had been some concerns about their scrum, but McQueen was confident those problems were being overcome.
We are playing a couple of very hard games over the next few weeks, and it's going to give us, I think it's going to give us some answers as far as the scrum's concerned.
Van der Westhuizen, can they get it wide quickly? And Peter Rousseau's the man who's gone down. Van der Westhuizen, a chance now for Brayton Porser, back to Van der Westhuizen. Van der Westhuizen, he's just held up short. Still the Springboks have it. Who's going to play it? Is there a chance? Fleck goes. Fleck's got it!
The narrowest of wins for South Africa, easing the pressure on Nick Mallett after the Springboks' indifferent form. With the Tri-Nations title wrapped up, the All Blacks still had the Bledisloe Cup to reclaim.
Yeah, not nice to get a big trophy like that in the cabinet. For us, the Bledisloe Cup is very, very important, and we've got one foot in the door, so to speak. But it counts for nothing if we don't perform well Saturday night.
A year before Australia hosted the Olympic Games, over 100,000 people crammed into the massive Olympic Stadium to see if the Wallabies could retain the Bledisloe Cup for the first time since 1980.
And here's an overlap for Mertens. George Gregan across. Mertens all the way. Oh, that's a soft try in the end. Australia badly exposed on the short side. Got it. Big drive for the Wallaby 8. 4 metres to go. 3 to go. 2 to go. They're over. What a sensational surge there from the Wallaby forwards. As soon as play stops here, the referee will blow it for full time.
Couple of souvenirs there for Jason Little, but that's it.
A record-breaking win for the Wallabies. The replaced players stream onto the field. The crowd rises as one. They are ecstatic.
And so the Bledisloe Cup remained in Australia. A record-breaking 109,000 packed the Olympic Stadium for the opening game of the 2000 Tri-Nations.
Again, Mertens forced to kick it, was partly charged down. The bounce for Alatini. Umaga! That's a gift 5-pointer for New Zealand. Two tries in 3 minutes. What a start to Bledisloe 2000 and the Tri-Nations. They're finding some great gaps. Alatini again. And a third try to Cullen. It's raining tries here. It's a demolition at Stadium Australia. Well, the Wallabies haven't seen the ball, apart from that early blemish. Now they get their hands on it. What can they do? Here's Jason Little having a go. Here's Gregan. Stephen Larkham. He has Mortlock for a try. He's away! That's a great riposte from the Wallabies. Larkham has just blitzed the New Zealand defence, and Sterling Mortlock gets his third Test try in as many matches. Looking to consolidate from this attacking platform, Johnny Eels. Gregan, little gap here for Williams. Big Jim Williams! Can he get there? Wallabies driving, 1 metre short. Gregan now. Here it is. Mortlock. He gets his second. It's raining tries here at the stadium. 7 to go. Great pass from Gregan. Little hammered there by Randall. Roth. 5 to go for Australia. Gregan to Larkham. Herbert almost through the gap. Gregan again. Latham. He's there. Third try for Australia. John Eels at the back. Larkham with great hands. Mix up. Little. Gregan. He recovers. George Gregan. The chance is on here for Jeremy Paul. Australia trailed by 4. What a break there by Gregan. Latham's out on the left, calling for the ball on the wing. Roth. Torai Kepu. 8 minutes to go. Australia now. Kafer. Paul! There it is! 2.5 minutes to go. Australia by 1 point. Alatini. Iremia. Sandwiched in midfield. Kelleher. Randall and Lomu. Can he do it? Larkham. Lomu has won the game surely for New Zealand.
A thrilling end to one of the great games.
To be able to be 24-0 down and then at half-time be 24-all was a great comeback, and it probably took a lot out of the Wallabies coming back from that deficit. And I think that the way that the public clapped both sides when they left the field. It was an entertaining game of rugby that people didn't matter what they paid to come in and watch the game.
It was then back to Christchurch for the All Blacks' first home game of the campaign against the Springboks.
Advantage being played All Blacks way.
Come away, South Africa, come away!
Marshall for Mertens. Here comes Lomu. Lomu and Montgomery on collision course, but Cullen gets it.
Stay back!
15 metres out now. And they sling it wide again. Cribb. Referee's got the arm out, so the Springboks were standing too flat. Mertens floats it beautifully. What a pass! And Cullen's got two.
25-12, the final score. A week later, the Springboks were in Sydney.
Regan. Kefu. He's burst through. Latham's with him. What a pass there, Jason Little. Can Little do it in his final home test? I think he couldn't get over the goal line. Finally he does.
Jeremy Paul, all the work done by Little. Jake Payton gets one under the sticks.
26-6 it finished, with David Wilson and Richard Harry playing their final test in Australia. Australia then hit the road, and first up were the All Blacks in Wellington.
Regan for Larkham. Herbert, clean break, feeds it up, and Mortlock is chased by Umaga. He'll make it though. 5 out from the 22, right in centre field for Regan. Larkham on for Jason Little. Eels is right there with him. Now it's Larkham again. Kefu. Trib off to Latham, who's up in the line. They keep it going. Larkham. Joe Roth for the corner. They've got another one. Mertens for Alatini. Umaga. 22-metre line with some forward momentum now, the All Blacks. Looking blindside with Alatini. Lomu again.
15 metres out.
Best chance the All Blacks have had so far. Umaga goes again. Referee playing advantage. Mertens for Cribb. The kick for Cullen. Brilliant.
Beautiful ball to the back of the line out, giving some space.
Here they are, some intricate moves. Aaron Malista, Umaga.
Classic.
That equals the record. That's absolutely brilliant again. This kick will decide the fate of the Bledisloe Cup. What a player, John Eales. His kick has retained the Bledisloe Cup.
It also put pressure on the All Blacks to beat the Springboks in Johannesburg.
Good take by Swanepoel, looking to be the playmaker. Fleck. Esterhuizen, who hasn't had too much of the ball, but here they come again, another chance for Delport. Beautiful running by Delport. Mertens will not stop him. Springbok.
A rousing second-half performance saw the Springboks overhaul the All Blacks. The winning try came courtesy of scrum half Werner Swanepoel. (46-40), the final score. The result opened the door for Australia to win the Tri-Nations. However, as in 1998, that would involve winning in South Africa. This looked beyond them when Bram van Straten kicked his 6th penalty of the game to give South Africa an 18-16 lead with very little time left on the clock. But incredibly, there was still time for the Wallabies to be given a penalty of their own, and the responsibility of kicking it was Sterling Mortlock's. In his breakthrough year, Mortlock had been a revelation, and there was never any doubt in his mind he would kick it. And so finally, Australia had got their hands on the Tri-Nations trophy to go with the World Cup they'd won 10 months earlier. In 2001 for Australia had started with them defeating the British and Irish Lions. Rod McQueen retired after that series, and his natural successor was Brumbies coach Eddie Jones, fresh from delivering the Super 12 title.
Yeah, he's fantastic, a real thorough coach, and his input will be great towards the team.
Jones' first Tri-Nations fixture in charge was against South Africa in Pretoria.
Springbok pack are really hunting as a group as well. Skinstad, straight through, here he comes, Bobby Skinstad, a magnificent try!
All Australia's points came from the boot, but it wasn't enough, and South Africa ran out winners by 20 points to 15. Two weeks later, Australia were in Dunedin to take on the All Blacks.
Stabs it for Lamu. Rohan Lamu. Lamu gets up and he's got it. And his 50th Test match. Jonah opens the scoring. Matthew Burt, kick and chase, Burt leading the charge, Howlett getting back, Burt, brilliant! Try scored by Matthew Burt. Outstanding individual effort. And the All Blacks are going backwards here, and the fact they've been turned over.
Well, terrible indecision really, handing it to a man who didn't want it, wasn't ready for it.
Regan gets going, now Larkham ghosting into the gap, here's trouble, Cribb having to get back, oh that's going to be a penalty try I think, yes it is, no doubt about that. No doubt about that at all, penalty try.
A third win in 4 years for the Wallabies in New Zealand. And the Bledisloe Cup would remain in Australia for another year. Next in the Wallabies' sights were the Springboks in Perth. Eddie Jones had inherited a team with the winning habit. The last 2 years had seen them secure every major trophy available to them. But Jones was keen to keep his players focusing on one game at a time.
We don't tend to look ahead that much. We know that the 80 minutes we've got on Saturday is going to be the hardest game we've played in the Tri-Nations, and that's the only thing we're looking at, and whatever happens after that looks after itself.
And so to Perth's Subiaco Oval, complete with the traditional strong show of support for the Springboks in Western Australia.
Butch James. Space here for the box. Van der Westhuizen. Venter. Jantjes. Andrews. What a try. Stay up on your feet. Good clean out by the Australian forwards. That was it was Nick Stiles. Herbert. Gray. Graham Bond. It was an early tackle, says the referee. Finnegan now. Cobain.
Cook and Van Straten then traded penalties to set up a tense finish.
Phil Ward was there. Finnegan again makes another 5. Australia working it through the face as they're getting closer to those posts. The drop goal's on for Larko. Can he do it again? It's close. It's gone wide. What an anticlimax. That is full time. Incredibly, these two sides have played themselves to a standstill.
I think it was obviously ref differently to what we're used to, but it's one of those games, it's the way it goes, and we're just very chuffed with a draw away from home.
That result left the door open for the All Blacks, but they would need to beat the Springboks in Auckland first.
Now Kelleher, chased down by Hall, and Bartage is over. Here's Jack, just short. There it is now for Kelleher. Alatini stretching, he's there. Peter Alatini. Kelleher for Mertens, Umaga. Just 20 metres short of the line. They've really got some go forward here. But the arm goes out again. It's against the Springboks, I think. Could be a penalty as Mertens goes for the gap. Mertens, McDonald was taken early. Penalty try.
He was taken in as a penalty try.
Penalty try.
The penalty try confirmed the win for New Zealand, which meant that with New Zealand's trip to Sydney remaining and only 1 point separating the top two, the stage was set for a titanic struggle. For the second year running, the Tri-Nations came down to the final game.
Regan goes in. Australia need protection at the breakdown. The referee says it's out. Here's Giffen. Anton Oliver. Giffen offloaded. 15 metres out from the goal line. Finnegan has a crack. And now Larkham. Larkham goes to the boot. The referee plays advantage and Latham is there. The referee awards the try. Aggressive scrummaging from New Zealand. 45 metres out. Here's Mertens. Alatini into space. Steps beautifully. Umaga's with him. And this is Howlett. Oh, what a try. Missed tackles by the Aussies. Australia protecting possession. Larkham in ball. Latham was not watching the ball. He was watching the defence. New Zealand could sting here. This is Flavel. Roth comes in for the tackle. Byron Kelleher now. McDonald, Alatini, Lomu's outside. Great work by Lomu, and Alatini gets another one. Gregan again, and Larkham. Kefu. Try Kefu! Did he get it? That's the match winner!
Kefu's try gave the retiring John Eales the perfect send-off.
We've had some great success, but I think the most exciting thing is that it augurs the success that we've had this year and the young guys that have come through. It augurs so well for the future. And I know that I'm going to enjoy sitting back in the crowd here next time Australia run onto this stadium, sitting back and supporting an Australian team in the future. Finally, on a personal note, there's no doubt that I'll miss playing for the Wallabies. It's been a very big part of my life. I think outside of family and friends, it's been the biggest part of my life. And on behalf of myself, I'd like to thank everyone here, representing all in Australia that have supported the Wallabies over the years, and thank you very much for your support.
So at the start of the 2002 campaign, the question was who could stop the Wallabies? They were a team with a rich blend of youth and experience, and stepping into John Eel's shoes as the new captain was George Gregan. His first major test was in Christchurch on a wet and windy night at Jade Stadium. Predictably, the boot dominated, and 4 penalties from Andrew Mertens wrapped up the points for the All Blacks. The All Blacks were in transition. Wayne Smith had departed after the 2001 Tri-Nations, and in his place was John Mitchell. His new captain was Canterbury flanker Reuben Thorne, and Thorne led out the All Blacks for their fixture with South Africa in Wellington.
And James Dalton has it under control, and it's there for Conradi.
Great work, Springboks. Stolen.
Now for Nearkirk. Conradi again for Pretorius. He's always likely to have a go, and they just hang on. It was Somerville who had to make the tackle. Now Krief, and Krief gets through, and he's gone right past them all. And Bernard Krief has scored a brilliant individual try. Now Marshall sends it off to Scott. He's got support too from McCall, who's got back to his feet. Robertson goes again. Marshall gets it off to Mertens, inside to Mark Robinson.
Offside again.
Marshall to Mertens. Cullen is in. Here's a chance and Dan Hammonds gets the All Blacks' first try of the Tri-Nations. Hammett goes short to Robertson. Hammett will score. What a brilliant try that was. Still there for Justin Marshall, but Matfield's in the road and he's going to be penalised sooner or later. Mertens will try the drop kick, and if it works, which it does, they don't need the penalty.
Take a step, get out of there.
Justin Marshall. The short kick. Oh, the wrong bounce. Now, here we go. Caleb Ralph leading the charge. All Blacks there, but Umaga hands it up. They're 5 metres short. Now Marshall looking to get it wide. There's a huge lineup. Robertson right in centre field.
Yeah, that one had to be moved, I think.
Marshall looks away to the far side, and Reuben Thorne has scored the try.
41-20, the final score. A week later, South Africa were in Brisbane to take on the Wallabies, who had yet to win a test at the Gabba cricket ground.
So Larkham working in close. Nice variation for Gregan. This is Tune, and he's there. What a brilliant move from the Wallaby backs. Goal line ahead here for Gregan. Here's Latham. There it is, number 3. Simple overlap. Chris Latham in his hometown is on fire.
They haven't been able to take their opportunities, the Springboks. Bad passing, and I think it's awareness of this aggressive defence of the Wallabies that's distracting them.
Well, there's another overlap here. Here they go. This is Joubert. Full back to beat. Off he goes. Brilliant work by Joubert. He's outsped them. Classic try by the young centre. Badly needed by the Springboks.
Get on with the game.
So, Kepu wrapped up. Here's a chance for South Africa. Skinstad pounced. Labuschagne now. Australia back on their heels. Conradi. Van Niekerk. Sharp going in for the tackle. Dalton out wide. He was a decoy. Here's a chance. Joubert. And another one for South Africa. The only query is, did he get it down?
He clearly grounded it and he wasn't in touch. Thank you, Steve.
Dalton is there, so is Conradi. Skinstad, space here to Blanche. Almost through. Pretorius away now to Barry. The chase is on, and look at Paulser. He could win it. Tune there first. He went without it. Paulser. Skinstad. What composure from the box. South Africa right back in the game.
Great contest for the ball again by the box.
Here they go. This is their chance, and this is the quick man, Joubert. And now Russell. He is electric. Oh, just ankle tap, but he'll still get there. Brett Russell, this dynamic youngster, has scored an incredible try. He jumped out of the ground. The Wallabies are all on the left here. South Africa a little skinny. Latham, and there it is. Chris Latham gets his second try.
A thrilling match saw Australia shade it by 38 points to 27. It was then down to Sydney with Bledisloe Cup business to take care of. An outright win here for New Zealand was required to reclaim the trophy. But the match came down to one kick when referee Andre Watson penalised the All Blacks in the final play of the match.
Number 22.
Matt Burke was then faced with one of the most important kicks of his career.
He's done it. The hoot is gone. The Bledisloe Cup remains on Australian soil, and Matthew Burke is the hero.
It's never an easy competition, the Tri Nations, and this is a good example of how tough it is, and we've got one more to go, and we'll try and get up for that.
There was a traditional African welcome waiting for New Zealand in Durban, where a win would put them back in contention for the Tri Nations title.
And James Dalton's done well. He read that perfectly. De Kock. A little bit of space. And here comes Dean Hall. Down he goes. Thrown a clear from the inside. He thought about the clear for the beautiful pickup. De Kock is going to get his first test try. Now Robertson, he's dangerous in those situations, and of course Marshall has also over the years been a really dangerous man. But just look at this, Mertens now the inside. Umaga, is he going to make McDonald for the corner? Excellent effort that onto AJ Fenter.
Knock on, playing advantage to Green. It was knocked on.
Referee playing advantage and doing it well. This is Pretorius. Now Mertens it is who's defending there. Was there a push and a shot? The referee has given the try.
The match suffered an unwelcome interruption when referee David McHugh was wrestled to the ground by a Springbok supporter. Fortunately, order was soon restored by both players and security staff, and New Zealand regained their shape to record a vital victory.
Hold them off is the key. Take the ball away, even more important, but now they've got some numbers. Here comes Major. Aaron Major slapped through, and he's going to score between the uprights.
And so, New Zealand back on track in Durban. This didn't quite wrap up the Tri Nations for New Zealand. Australia still had a mathematical chance of retaining their trophy, but would need to beat the Springboks heavily in Johannesburg. Midway through the second half, it appeared it was all over for Australia. Bobby Skinstad sent Jovan Niekerk on his way. But Australia weren't finished.
Ollie LaRue with the throw. Skinstad couldn't get. This is George Smith in space. George Smith, has he the pace to go all the way? Paulser gets back, stays on his feet. Now that looks like it's Brendan Cannon who's got in for the try. It is. Look how excited Gregan is. It's Cannon who got the try for the Wallabies. and this game has turned around completely. Conradi, Russell, wide for Skinstad. Van Niekerk is there. Skinstad well tackled there by, amongst others, Gregan. Another ball for South Africa. Oh, Werner Greef! Look at this! Greef!
Miraculous from Werner Greef. Glory to the Springboks as everybody's out of their seats here at Ellis Park.
Greef needs to just keep his cool. He's struck them pretty smoothly. Keep your cool, keep your head down. Follow through, remember everything you've been taught. But look at the Wallabies charging up. He's kicked it dead centre. And the Springboks celebrate.
Delight for the Springboks and the All Blacks winning their 4th Tri-Nations title. 2003 was World Cup year, and there was an extra spring in the steps of all the teams. It was time for the combinations to start to gel, and first up for the Springboks were the Wallabies in Cape Town.
Van der West stays in the game, has a look around. Brent Russell is there. Darts for glory. Good defence by Australia. Van der Westhuizen, Marius Joubert. Nice stepping by him, but again the Australian defence is very, very solid. Louis Kuhn, what can he conjure up? Van der Westhuizen gets it wide again. Well laid back by South Africa. Van der Westhuizen, flip on the inside. Very nearly through goes Vickers van Heerden. Can Australia just last out? Van der Westhuizen again. Kuhn and Russell! Wonderful ball up by South Africa. And the pocket rocket has done it again. Gregan Flatley. Rogers, Saylor, Wendell Saylor gets the first try for Australia. They're back in the lead. Here's Russell. Can he get away from the men? Yes, he can. From both their centres. He's opened it up for David Barry. He needs to look on the other. Brilliant pass. Russell. Can he get it on the inside? Here goes Stefan de Blanche. This could be the try of the season. It's Victor Matfield.
But Australia hit back with 2 tries. Firstly, from Phil Waugh.
Try!
Gregan, Flatley, Burke, Bucky's Buerta slip, and here goes Joe Roff. Try Australia!
But Roff's try, not enough to prevent a 3rd consecutive Tri-Nations loss in South Africa for Australia. A week later, John Mitchell's All Blacks were the visitors to the Rainbow Nation.
He's a big man, is Chris Jack, and Russell had to just try and hold him up for a moment. They're inside the South African 22. Spencer, Carlos Spencer will score. Collins tapped it back. Now chance for Major, for Muliaina. This guy's quick. And Barry got an ankle tap on him, but here goes Rokothoko offloads. Look at the offload of the All Blacks. Russell, oh, look at the referee says play on. It's Rokothoko. Well, here goes Doug Howlett again, looking for the 50 for the All Blacks for the 2nd time in history. Marshall, they're lining up on the outside. Major is in the open. Major could go all the way. Major has gone all the way. That's the 50.
Next up for the free-scoring All Blacks were the Wallabies in Sydney. As ever, the Bledisloe Cup was on the line, and New Zealand would need to win here to have any chance of regaining it.
Australia's turned it over. So a bonus. And Smith and Moore in concert there. And now Rogers. Here comes Saylor. Saylor now with Flatley in support. Flatley. Cannon the hooker. It's 10 metres out for the Wallabies. Big overlap here. Kefu. Burke. Yes! What a mighty try by the Wallabies. Major. Spencer on the loop. Rokathoko. He's got the pace. Wallabies on their heels here. And Larkham for the hurried clearance. No touch. Rokathoko. Spencer wants it. Out wide is Muliaina and Dougie Howlett as well. New Zealand counter. Muliaina and Umaga. Lovely step. Another one. And a bonus point. It's just deteriorating for the men in goal at the moment. Hewitt. Latham's back into position. 33 plays 11. The All Blacks in total command here. Carter. They gap him again, and it's another try. Australia's being humiliated here in the Bledisloe Cup. And it's Carter, Muliaina, and a hat-trick for Rokathoko.
An emphatic record victory for the All Blacks in Australia. A week later, the Wallabies and the Springboks, both reeling from shedding 50 points to New Zealand, faced up in Brisbane's new Suncorp Stadium.
Davidson, Louis Corn, now the Springboks go wide, but a tall pass in midfield. Had a chance. Rogers scores the try that puts the Wallabies in the lead. The ball wide to Takiri would be the go, and it's gone that way. Takiri, 5 metres short. Whittaker, sharp, shows all his strength. Australia rampaging, close to the Springbok line. Wide ball, try is on here. Kefu. What a reward. If ever a player deserved a reward, it's Phil Waugh.
29-9, the final score. A week later, the Springboks were in Dunedin.
It's another turnover. This time it goes the All Blacks' way. Running opportunity for Doug Howlett. Back to Marty Holler, the Waikato man. In centre field, 10 out from the 22. Marshall delivers to Major. Stabs it through. Here come the runners. Rokathoko is too quick. And he scores the opening try.
Marty Holler tackle.
Up under Westhuizen. Here's Bands straight up the middle. Big Richard Bands. He's got to have a go at Spencer. Get out of the road. Bands. Oh, what a great try. That's one of the best tries you'll ever see from a prop forward. Superb.
4 Carlos Spencer penalties sealed the victory for New Zealand. 19-11 it finished. That victory put the All Blacks out of sight and also confirmed South Africa's 5th third-place finish in a row. The final game of the series saw the Wallabies visit New Zealand, and the All Blacks were determined to win back the Bledisloe Cup.
Now Marshall, away for Spencer, long one out to Mialamu. Howlett wants to join it. Mialamu, away to Doug Howlett. That's a brilliant try. Brilliant work by Collins, just walked over the top. Now the chase is on. Howlett's got too much speed for Flatley. Howlett again. Here's Smith, looking to get it as wide as quickly as possible. Remember, it's advantage. Gregan.
Overlap.
Advantage over. Advantage is over. Chance for Smith. George Smith. Wallabies back in it big time.
But it was too little too late for Australia, and so Reuben Thorne became the first Kiwi since Sean Fitzpatrick in 1997 to get his hands on the Bledisloe Cup. Zealand's defeat in the World Cup semi-final saw John Mitchell replaced by Graham Henry in 2004. His first big test was against the Wallabies in Wellington.
Close. Has a go at the line. He can't make it. Now Marshall for Spencer. Rocker Foko. Muliaina and Doug Robertson.
The conditions made for a difficult night's rugby. Sterling Mortlock's try gave the Wallabies brief hope, but that was as good as it got for Australia. 16-7, the final score. Jake White had replaced Rudy Strowley as Springbok coach after their disappointing World Cup. First up for them was a difficult trip to Christchurch.
Cole signals time on, and Jaco van der Westhuizen boots it off, and it's a pretty rough sort of a kick, snapped up by Holler, and Holler bounces out of a couple of tackles early on, and the All Blacks, well, the ball is out, and it breaks down for the All Blacks. A chance immediately for the Springboks as it's back on the inside to De Villiers, and I think he's there. He is there, Jean De Villiers. Dupree, oh, big gap. Opens up now. Can he find some support? Little kick and chase. He'll have to do it himself. Now he gets some support from Fenter and Cronje.
Magnificent. And it's wide, the space.
They've got a chance wide. And Howlett's going to score the winning try.
A narrow escape for the All Blacks. 23-21, it finished.
We were flat and we got the half-time talking to, and we came out and we showed what we had, and we showed a lot of character. We had a lot to prove when we came out, and I think we proved it.
The talk before the next Wallaby fixture was all about George Gregan. He was about to be capped for the 100th time for Australia.
It's very important for a team point of view too. Like, it's obviously from an individual, personal point of view, it's a very proud moment for me.
His 100 caps put him one behind David Campese in the all-time list of Wallaby Test appearances.
Now Australia down in the attacking zone. Test here for Montgomery. Lottie Takiri here. Lottie Takiri. Yes! First try to the Wallabies. Intercept. It's a clear sprint for De Villiers. Mortlock across. De Villiers all the way. AJ Fenter has been pretty quiet tonight. This man hasn't. Berger.
Hands away now, hands away! One of the great things you see what Berger has done for all players, the fact that he follows his pass.
Here's Harvey du Toit, he wants the bounce. Great skill. And Takiri taking them on. Lovely pass to Mortlock. Now Larkham. They're queuing up. It's Rathbone against his countrymen.
A week later, the All Blacks returned to the scene of their World Cup semi-final defeat.
Still there for Australia. Smith out wide. Overlap, it has to be. David Lyons. He went himself with two men unmarked outside. It's still there. Takiri.
More misery in Sydney for the All Blacks. There was a very special guest of honour for New Zealand's final game of the series in Johannesburg. Could Nelson Mandela inspire the home team to victory?
And they've turned it over as away goes Justin Marshall, and Muliaina is up from fullback. Here's a good run. Mills Muliaina puts the foot down. He's going to go all the way. What a brilliant try. That's it. Conradi. Springbok scrum getting a bit better for Nearkirk. Now they go blindside. Montgomery. In fact, it's Joubert. Just a missed tackle on the part of the All Blacks. And finally, all the pressure is turned into points.
Stay.
Here come the All Blacks. Mertens gets it back. Very complicated move. And it's well read by the box. And the All Blacks have almost thrown this away. Conradi dragged in here by Montgomery. A chance for the box. And Brayton pulses in. Conradi clears it out for Van der Westhuizen. Now Barry. Barry has a go. Barry straight through. And Joubert gets his second. Ball is there.
Hands away, Green.
They need someone at halfback to clear it. Now it's Chris Jack who does it. Mertens slips the pass to Rocafoko. And Joe Rocafoco's in.
Try here.
Another cliffhanger at Ellis Park. 14 minutes to go. 1 point lead for the All Blacks. The Springboks having a go on the blind side once again. Joubert frees his arms. No, he keeps going. And let's have a look. Referee wants to make a call here.
Thank you.
Ball goes to Joubert. It opens up. Hat-trick for Marius Joubert.
A disappointing end for Graham Henry's first campaign. This win and the crucial bonus points they picked up from previous matches gave South Africa a fighting chance of winning their first Tri-Nation since 1998.
I think it's good for not only South Africa but World Rugby that South Africa can at least compete again. I think for years now we've basically just been making up numbers in this tournament, and I think as you rightly say, it's wonderful that there's one game left and you got a chance to win it. And I think that's probably what everyone would like to see.
And so all attention turned to Durban and the winner-takes-all clash between the Springboks and the Wallabies.
Gregan able to feed it for Rathbone. Little dab to Kyrgios in the clear here. This could be a try for Australia. Pulsar to Kerry in for the first score of the game. And ultimately, pretty simply for him. It's not a bad up and under by Brayton Pulsar. They're all there. Now, here goes Victor Matfield. He can go all the way here. Victor Matfield gets his fourth try and he ran circles around George Gregan. No! South Africa must get their hands on the ball quickly. Comes now, the skip is required. Van der Westhuizen. They've still got the ball, South Africa. They need to go left now. They must score. They go left now. They must score. It's got to be Van Niekerk. Desperate defence by the South Africans. They're missing too many first-timers. Now Larkin finds Mortlock. This has got to be a try for the Wallabies. Sterling Mortlock. Now, is there enough time here? Australia will have to throw the ball in quickly. South Africa need to compete it. They do so. Vickerman brings it down for Smith, trying to maul it. They need to get it back that's over the line. Try. Six. George Smith has scored the try.
Roy, I'm not going to be able to hear the siren, so can you just tell me when time is officially up?
Australia are going to have one shot at it. Paddy O'Brien has just said time is officially up.
No, he just said, could you tell me when time's officially up? Because he said there's such a noise from the crowd he can't hear. Van der Westhuizen must hoist it. Decides to go deep. John Rowe, he's the man that they must watch. He's a tough customer to bring down. Matfield eventually brings him down. He's made some wonderful tackles, Matfield. Chikiri, well, he couldn't get away from Van der Westhuizen. That's good defence by the South African fly half. Now it's Paul, scythed down by Smith. Gregan as the Wallabies build up. Burke goes, fake space for Smith. He's booted it, it's out. Will this be the ball game? There's still no. The South Africans are running onto the field, but they're overexcited. There's still time on the clock. That's it. That's it. The South African side have won the 2004 Tri-Nations.
And so South Africa lifted their first Tri-Nations title for 6 years. The 2005 Tri-Nation Series kicked off in Pretoria, with Australia the visitors.
Larkham to Renui.
It's off.
Good ball this for the Wallabies. Gregan Smith. Try.
Time out.
Dupria to Villiers. Pretoria. Sabana injects some pace there. With his hands above the tackle beautifully. That's as good. Brayton Pulser is away.
Last feet.
Andre Pretorius' drop goal sealed the win for the Springboks. Another defeat in South Africa for the Wallabies. Next up in South Africa with New Zealand, fresh after their series win against the British and Irish Lions.
January, Pretorius, comfortable with his left foot. Good to see that, although this is not out. Sowialo, MacDonald. New Zealand keeping the ball in hand. I haven't seen any of those trademark up and unders, particularly for their wingers. Rick Ogia, beautiful sidestep. This man's got pace. Kelleher, taken away. De Villiers, he's got Brayton Pulser. They're not going to catch him. There's no ways. Everything going the way they want. John De Villiers. Montgomery. Down onto Rick Ogia. Bringing in Leon MacDonald. Using the width of the field, the All Blacks. They've done well. Here comes Aaron Major. He's got Carter on his outside. New Zealand starting to get the machinery a little bit better oiled. They're getting more possession now as well. A little bit more continuity. Collins, couple of extra men over the top. She goes. Here comes Rick Ogia. And that's an easy run in for the right winger. And a knock on. South Africa just have to kick this into touch. And that Farida Pierre has done.
South Africa holding on for a well-deserved victory. New Zealand had to bounce back quickly against the Australians in Sydney.
Rock solid Australian scrum. Here's Mitchell. He got away from Carter. Lovely step. Has momentum got in there? We're going to have to wait for the video rep, but the Australian players feel he's slid over the goal line.
I think that's try time.
Thank you. Takiri again. Mortlock, hospital pass that one. And New Zealand have it. Trouble, big trouble. Umanga and Uroka Toko, the Rocket Man. He kept it in play, he needs the bounce. And you can shut the gate. There goes the Bledisloe Cup for 2005.
The All Blacks back on track. Next up for Australia with the Springboks in Perth.
Gitto as Australia stormed the line. And the pass wasn't sympathetic. The counter's on from South Africa with an overlap. Here goes Habana. I don't think they'll catch him. He's the quickest man on the field. Takiri won't get there. And a breakout try for the Springboks. Taken by Sharp. Good pick up by Gregan. Tiranui! Rathbone's with him! Tiranui and Rathbone! There's the try Australia's been searching for. Distance is fine. And the touch judges say yes. Wallabies by 19 to 17. Seventh phase for the Wallabies. Gregan looking to offload.
This is great work by both teams. Fortunately put down by Rogers, and there's a breakout.
Look out! Can they catch this man? Habana, he's done it again! Habana from his goal line, a turnover.
Australia.
Habano's try sealing a narrow win for South Africa. There were fireworks before the game in Dunedin as New Zealand prepared for a must-win game against the Springboks.
Still there for January. Now Pretorius, partially charged. Chance for Rokafoko. It's given a bit of space. Might just have the pace, and Rokafoko's in. Wepu hands it blindside to Major. And he's well contained.
Good support, though.
Now the ball's loose. Habana! And he's away. He's stolen another one. Pretorius looks to get it away downfield. It's gone as far as Wepu. Delivers off to Major. And Aaron Major's kick and chase. Montgomery's got McCaw coming down. Charged in the way, and it goes to Mialamu. Kevin Mialamu still charging. Here's Leon McDonald. Second try for the All Blacks.
And protection of the ball.
There it is for Wepu. McDonald having another go. Looks for support, can't find it. All Blacks have still got it though. Rokafoko. Joe Rokafoko. Still going.
That's a great try.
Magnificent. Ball is there again for Wepu. Now Collins. Oh, he's turned it. He's passed it away. January's flying. And it's going to be a try under the bar for Jacques Fourie. Doug Howlett scored a late try to beat the Box last season. All Blacks get it cleanly.
Well, they've got it at the back in control, and they're driving.
Looking good. He's got the arm out again.
Advantage black.
Here's Mialamu. Kevin Mialamu.
And so, courtesy of Mialamu, South Africa again going down to a late try in this fixture.
It shows the character that we have in this side. When we asked the question of ourselves in that last 20 minutes, everyone stood up and we came back.
And so, with one game to play, the All Blacks trailed South Africa by 3 points. A win against the Wallabies in Auckland would therefore guarantee New Zealand a 6th Tri-Nations in 10 years.
Away for Major. Australians close the gap very quickly. Here's McCaw! Richie McCaw gets the opening try. Now Major sends it wide for Lauaki. He's playing advantage to the referee, by the way. They were offside, the Wallabies. There's Rokafoko, and he's lost it.
No advantage, offside both ways, George.
Ali Williams thinks about taking this quickly, but he's not quite on the spot. He is going to take it quickly, puts the kick in, and it's got to be a try. Doug Howlett. Ali Williams, you've got to be kidding. All Blacks again hard on attack. Good charge by Lauaki. Now it's Wepu, McDonald, Major, Muliaina. Howlett does it again. Rogers, another massive kick. Flat pass across to Major, signals his intentions. Rogers lines it up. And another clever kick. Buying time. Muliaina. All Blacks coming pretty quickly, forces the mistake. Howlett for the sprint. He's got support from Ryan. The All Blacks have a chance. They get it away to Howlett, and he's going to get a hat-trick.
Doug Howlett's try rounding off a memorable year for Graham Henry's team. They now set the standards in World Rugby, and as Sanzar enters its second decade, who can stop them continuing to dominate?